Okay, I'm going to look at some of these saws here. I just bought a Performax circular saw, 7 1/4. It adjusts to 45 degrees on the bevel. But I want to look at some of these other ones that I found on Google. Let's start with the DeWalt. Okay. There's nothing really that great about it. The bevel just goes to 45 degrees. It's light, 8.8 pounds. The price, $154. Let's go back. I want to look at this one here. This is a skill saw, $199. Now, one of the things about this one, this is a sidewinder. Right here it says sidewinder circular saw. One of the unique things I found about this one is it adjusts to 56 degrees bevel. Pretty unusual. And it has a positive stop at 45. I want to go to the Milwaukee. $200. Rear handle. This one is battery powered. It says. I was really looking at corded ones. It includes a blade, I guess. I can't see where the battery slides in. That's the Milwaukee. And this is a worm drive. Here's a Bosch that I looked at. I have a lot of Bosch tools. This one also adjusts to 56 degrees. Now this is a corded one, and it's got a hanger at the top. You can usually hang it on like a 2x4 or on something if you're like up on a ladder. Now this one shows two different saw blades with it. This picture has like a silver colored generic one. This one has a Bosch blade. Oh, they're all ergonomic. That's nothing new. But this is pretty interesting where it has an adjustment to 56 degree bevel. Alright, I want to go back here to the Makita. Now this one is from Tractor Supply. If you want to go there, $149. They aren't going to give as much information as Amazon does. 7 1/4, 24 tooth blade. Corded. Looks like 45-degree bevel, which is nothing. Not sure why they show two pictures here. I think this is a large one right here. That must be a smaller one there. LED lights for the Makita. Here's gives you a little bit more details on the 90-degree angle would be 2 3/8, that the blade actually comes down that far, and at 45 degrees it goes to 1 3/4. I'm not going to go through details on every saw. Now we're going to take a look at this Performax 7 1/4. This has a guide to make rip cuts, which would be helpful, yeah. And also what we're going to do is we're going to look at this outside and put it through a few tests. It seems okay as far as lightness goes. It's not going to be like the others that have either magnesium base or aluminum type base. See how deep it goes. It does have sort of a scale right here. So that might be helpful. The base, as I said, was steel. No blade included that I can see. Well, I'm wrong. This is just the generic blade. There's nothing new or exciting about this blade. Just 24 teeth. It does have, I believe, a wrench with it. Maybe not. Here's the rip guide right here where this goes. So that's a nice feature. It's got a dust port. I'll have to see where that goes exactly. I'm not going to get into that right now. I did want to see how to change the blade. Another thing about this is I believe this has a blade lock, something to lock the blade while you're changing it. I'm gonna look at that. Right here's the blade lock, this big button right here. I wanted to see how easy it was to use. Seems to be okay. Take this bolt out, check it out. Usual 2 flats on this washer right here. This, by the way, also is a balancer. Now if you want a bigger balancer, it will not cut as deep, because this will hinder, if this is too big, this will hinder the depth of cut. And most saw blades turn this way, which would be counterclockwise. And it's got a couple of arrows here. This thing here is to pull the guard back. You have to use that quite a bit. And this one is very small. This one cost $44. The blade's really hard to get in. It's got sort of a shoulder where the blade fits on. I'm just going to use pliers to tighten it. You don't need it any tighter than that. As long as you got that blade lock on there, that's good enough. Sometimes when you're outside somewhere and you don't have your pliers or you don't have a wrench with you, good luck with that, but I usually have some pliers with me somehow. If you have something like this, that'll work also. The cord is 9 feet 11 inches approximately. I did find the wrench right here. And you can put it right down here. It's like a lot of them. Fits in there pretty good. Velcro also right here to wrap up your cord. Another thing, a nice thing about this saw is it has a clear guard on it, so that works just fine. Basically, I've got all these little spaces to fit the foam board in. And so I just got to do it the hard way, measure each one and cut it. We're going to have to trim that one. Yeah, I got quite a bit of a gap right here on this side. A little bit of one over there. Nothing up here. Now for the next spot. Just take your measurements. I'm going to have to take into consideration this piece right here. So, have to notch around it. And what I'm going to have to do is take a piece of wood and make a picture of that area. I didn't measure how thick that piece is, that little piece right there, but I know it's about 1 inch. That notch, that worked out pretty good. It was actually a little less than 1 inch, but like I say, the foam will fill that in. Next one here, right there, I had to make that into 4 pieces. This one, there's 2. Here's the 3rd one up here. And then the 4th one is up here. And it goes in here. You can barely see it in here. But it goes up in there. Okay, now we gotta try to fill not only that space over there, that's a narrow, thin space, but I gotta fill this narrow, thin space and start in on this one here. Now sometimes you forget about some trimming, extra trimming you gotta do. There's a little notch right down there. Little bit of a board sticking out of there. And so now I've got to measure up here 2 inches and notch that. Sometimes you can break it off a little bit and trim it as best you can. Take that little piece out. Here is I want to make a belt clip like this, and I want to put it on this Ryobi. So I want to make it similar to this. This one is a Bosch, and it has a slot right here so that this will screw down into that slot. This one does not have any slot or anything, so I'm going to have to make a unique belt clip to go on here. Now I can order one, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make it. So I want to make it out of 1/16 inch steel right here. So I'm going to have to draw it out on here. And what I did was I took a wire brush on a drill and I cleaned this off. First I want to take the dimensions of this one. Okay, I definitely wanted it rounded here so that I could get it on my belt a lot easier. And this one here has a cutout here. I don't know if I'm going to do that. That would make it lighter. Also, this one is spring steel, which is a whole lot harder than this. This is regular steel, soft steel. Okay, here's the finished belt hook. And so here's how it's going to work. It's going to hook on like that, and that'll be fine. I made a hole here, and then I drilled another smaller hole in here. And the reason why I put this hole here was because that way I could get to my screw and screw it in. So it's going to work real good. I had to bend this area right in here, and right down here. There's a small area that sort of fits around where the screw goes in. And that'll work just fine. Okay, here is a situation where you have this triangular spot down to there. So how are you going to do that? Well, first of all, divide it into sections. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a level, put it across here, and then measure this area. So take a level, first of all, put it on there. then all you have to do is measure that area. Now I've got all kinds of curved boards here, and they are not evenly spaced. I was in too big of a hurry, and so on this board right here, on this piece of OSB, I'm going to mark where all of the screws should go. Now this is going to be done on the table saw. If you do not feel comfortable doing that, then you can use a jigsaw, a bandsaw, or whatever tool that you have. This, by the way, this little piece was 1.5 inches by inch. I notice that it has a big taper. This side is 1 inch. This is 1.5 inches, or 1 3/8 actually, and then the whole thing is 12 inches.